You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Radio Show, only on Financial News and Talk. Now live in studio, your host, local and national real estate expert and consumer advocate, Ron Siegel.
And hello again. Welcome to Ron Siegel Radio. This is the show with no real boundaries as we discuss current events, financial markets, politics, sports, even poking fun at the rest of the media. This is the show that connects the dots of confusion delivered by conflicting media reports. We connect the dots so you know the actions you can take, how your family or business can benefit from current events. Most of all, thank you for joining me. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message. I will be delivering it every day. We have a very focused show. We only chat about items that affect the roof over your head, your bank account, and anything I feel would benefit you. But before we get to our intriguing content today, please join me in welcoming our featured guest and repeat offender. Joe Ingram's in the house.
Good morning. Repeat offender is pretty accurate. Yes.
Glad to have you with us. And let me remind you, if you ever have any home or finance related questions, I am the consumer advocate looking out for you, and you can reach out to me directly, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. or ronsiegelradio.com. Just remember, that's the number you call anytime for assistance. When you call that number, it comes directly to me. First, there are no operators standing by. I am it.
Quiet, numbskulls, I'm broadcasting.
While I do have a great team when it comes to developing a financing plan or plan to save you money, I personally work with you. Even if you don't have any needs today, save this number in your phone for future reference. 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. Celebrating today. What do we celebrate? We always ask Miss Christie to help us out with this one. National Making Life Beautiful Day. Yeah, nobody asked me to sing on that one because I will not do it. National Call Your Doctor Day. We got a buzzer on that one. The next two are going to be the toughest ones to figure out. We've got National Corn on the Cob Day. I got a good thumbs up on that one. And National German Chocolate Cake Day. 2 thumbs up on that one with a glass of port. You know, we can do that. They don't have that on the list here, but German chocolate cake, a glass of port, we might do okay on that one. We'll see what happens there. Checking the markets for you. Ooh, the Dow Jones Industrial Average, it's turned around today. It was up about 170 points earlier in the day. I am looking right now. We are down 14.56. Oil up 12 cents a barrel. Should we look and see what the cost of gasoline is in Taxifornia? Do we even want to know that? It's probably going to be, I know that it's going to tell me what it'll say on here. It's kind of like my scale. When I get on a scale, I don't do that very often, but whenever I get on the scale, all that I ever hear is ouch, right? So when I look at the price of gasoline in Taxifornia, yeah, it's a scary, scary thought. But you know, we are in Taxifornia. We like to pay high prices. We like high taxes. I know that because we do vote for the same people over and over again. But gasoline, $2.73 a gallon is the national average. Taxifornia, we're $1.14 a gallon higher than that. Should we look and see? I think I'm going to go to Hawaii and gas up. It's $3.65 over there. It's a little bit cheaper. Be a little difficult to get my car back and forth, but we can go to Mississippi. $231.7 is the cost of gasoline in Mississippi. Again, I'm not going to even mention what we're doing in Taxifornia. It is painful. U.S. 10-year Treasury, it's up again today, 2.15. We never go in a straight line. I've talked to you about that before. Never going in a straight line. So yes, interest rates are going up a little bit right now. They were all the way down to, 2.07. I've told you they're going to 1.93 on the U.S. 10-year Treasury. I shouldn't tell you this, but I'm going to, should I say it or not? I mean, we are on a, Joe, you'll appreciate this. We are on a recorded line for, how do they say it? For training purposes or?
This call may be monitored.
That's it.
Quality and training purposes.
Right. That means it is monitored. So yeah. we are being recorded here. Yeah, what the heck? I told you before, 1.93 is where we're going to be going short term on interest rates, but what does that mean going long term? Well, by the end of next year, I am going to share with you that I would suggest interest rates, they're going to probably be right around 1.10, maybe 1.15. I know that there's not a lot of people out there telling you that right now, but you heard it here first on Ron Siegel Radio. I should mark down this date, it being that it is National German Chocolate Cake Day. So when we get to that point next year, when it's National German Chocolate Cake Day, we can look back on today's recording and see how accurate I was. And I did tell you that we were going down to 2.1. We did that. Now I've told you going down to 1.93. We're going to see, we'll see if I'm right there as well, and then 1.2. In the Mortgage Minute, I'll tell you how to use that information. Because, when I was at Chapman College, it was before they even had a university there, the commentary that we had is, what good is information if we don't know how to use it, if we can't use it? It's just fluff in your brain, right? I got enough fluff in my brain, so I try to use some of this stuff.
What's the big idea?
Yeah, that's it. So we want to figure out, how do we make money on that? How do you deal with that? And if you're looking at buying a home, refinancing a home, there are some, and what if you have debt? I mean, the average American household has debt. Well, how do we use that information? That's what the more important issue is. Let's look and see what we've got going on in the morning briefing today. Did you see John Dean yesterday? I loved watching one of the interviewers that was interviewing or questioning John Dean. Yes, he is from the Nixon era. He was a Nixon attorney during the Watergate. And the commentary from one of the Congress people, I don't remember whether it was House or Senate, found it fascinating because his commentary was, how much money did you make writing a book on the Nixon era, and what other presidents have you compared to Watergate? Oh, well, I compared George Bush and Dick Cheney to Watergate. Okay, how much money did you make on that? I don't know how much money I made. Oh, was it more than $1 million? No, it wasn't more than $1 million. Was it more than $500,000? I don't know. But he remembers the Nixon era so well, but he doesn't know how much money he made on that. He's a CNN, Cannabis News Network commentator. How much do you make there? Oh, I don't know. But he remembers the Nixon era so well. So the questioner from Congress says, you know something? I think you're just here to make money. We don't need to even listen to anything you have to say. It's not worth our time. It's fascinating just listening to some of these things. Now, we did notice that the House Judiciary Committee actually might do a little bit of legitimate work. Probably not, but they might. They're going to be putting some of the big tech companies and their practices supposedly under a microscope. To find that, well, they'll have a little bit more time grandstanding because it'll be on Facebook and Twitter. Just a thought for you right there. Moving right along, did you check this one out? I saw this yesterday. It was a bit of a disheartening sight. New York City helicopter crash. Yeah, that was, I don't understand how the pilot was even allowed to take off. If you saw any of the video, you couldn't even see the top of the buildings during that time. Yet he's flying around in a helicopter throughout New York City. Just fascinated me watching how that could possibly be allowed, but that's what it is. I think I heard that somewhere.
It is what it is.
Yeah, moving right along. What's that?
That was deep.
That was deep, exactly. Moving right along. How about this one? How'd you like to be? I always talk about our military, right? And very, very thankful for the American military because I couldn't do what I do if it wasn't for the freedoms that we get from our men and women fighting for our freedoms. Kim Jong-un's half-brother, he went to work for the CIA, and that's the dictator of North Korea. Went to work for the CIA. Apparently, somebody found out about it. Malaysia was not a good destination for him. He was killed in the airport. Moving right along, but it just came out that he was working for the CIA. Dangerous work. It's kind of like going to a bar in Santo Domingo in Dominican Republic. Did you hear that one also? Retired Red Sox baseball player David Ortiz shot in a bar. They ambulanced him back to Boston yesterday to get some medical treatment. Wishing well to David Ortiz. Maybe that I can get my wife to understand why is it that I like to stay in the United States. Just throw that out there. I'm not a big on the traveling. What else do we have in the news here? Well, we'll leave it for the Mortgage Minute. We have some other items to share with you. Some numbers, some big tech. Jerry Nadler, what he's up to. Maybe we don't want to talk about what he's up to. Foxconn, they're in the news. They are Apple's supplier or helps assemble iPhones. How'd you like that one? That's going to be a fascinating story to watch as well. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio. Discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. When we come back, we're going to talk a little bit in the Mortgage Minute about home equity, a game plan to save you, maybe even make you some money. We're going to also chat about your phone. Should you be using it? We'll talk to Joe Ingram about that. Maybe even how to use it the right way. Renting or owning, which is better for you. And ways health insurance protects your finances. All that and more. You can reach me anytime. Our off-air number, 800-306-1990. 800-306-1990 or ronsiegelradio.com. Connect with us, facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio, on Twitter @Ron Siegel. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, shame on you. But the replay is available. Ron Siegel 1, Ron Siegel, the numeral 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? Is your credit score over 800? Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Did you know that banks and credit bureaus are rewarded financially if you have bad credit? And the worse your credit score is, the more money they can make off of you? How does that make you feel, knowing that banks are getting rich off of your hard-earned money? How does it make you feel, knowing that if a bank or a credit bureau makes a mistake on your credit report, they benefit from it and it hurts you? The Fair Credit Report Act of 1971 requires banks and credit bureaus to report only accurate information, and nearly 100% of all credit reports are inaccurate. If you're sick and tired of being broke and tired of being robbed by the banks, you owe it to yourself and to your family to call Rondi. Rondi is a FICO-certified credit professional and has helped thousands of people just like you get out of debt and establish great credit. Rondi's number is 855-608-1990. Again, that's 855-608-1990. Or visit creditsanitizer.com. Again, that website is creditsanitizer.com.
Are you a veteran, own a home, and need money? The Siegel Lending Team is here to help veterans refinance and get the money they need. The VA 100 lets you borrow up to 100% of your home's value, refinance your mortgages, consolidate credit cards, and lower your payments by an average of $700 a month. And the Siegel Lending Team knows that character means more than a credit score. Call 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990. Rate subject to change without notice. Licensed by the California Department of Corporations. NMLS 21037 and DRE number 018694552.
Are you a veteran, police officer, firefighter, doctor, nurse, or teacher? If so, you qualify as one of Ron Siegel's VIP heroes, and we have rewards up to $5,000 or $10,000 when you buy, sell, or refinance a home with one of the Ron Siegel Radio partners. As one of the heroes, real estate agents will rebate part of their commission. Lending partners will give a credit at closing. The title company has special published rates, and many other service providers have incentives too. All you need to do is call Ron Siegel Radio at 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or visit VIPHeroProgram.com. Just think about what you will do with all the rebates and incentives from the partners of Ron Siegel Radio. Just call us at 800-306-1990 so we can show you our appreciation for your service.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message. I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990. 800-306-1990. Mortgage Minute today being brought to you by our friends at Gold Star Mortgage. When you're ready for that next mortgage, Gold Star has the programs and the products for you. Dow Jones Industrial Average now down 26 points. The NASDAQ down 13 points. The S&P 500 down 1.82. U.S. 10-year Treasury at 2.148. That's up just a little bit. And the Fannie Mae 30-year mortgage-backed security, that's up 2 basis points, which means interest rates are about flat. It doesn't tell us a whole heck of a lot about what's going on in the markets. But as I share with you every morning, it is not about those numbers. You need to know them just to know what's going on. The important issue is why is it happening and how does it affect you? Well, it's because of the producer price index a little bit today. They were lower this morning until some very tame producer inflation was released. Stocks are continuing pretty flat as the day goes on. We'll see what happens and see if we can get a 7th straight day of gains. But the producer price index measures inflation on the wholesale level, shows us if producer costs are going up, which can in turn affect consumers. If producer costs were to change, the producer could pass those additional costs or discounts down to the consumer, or they could adjust their margins. This morning's report, which was for the month of May, showed that headline producer inflation dropped from 2.2% to 1.8%. Core reading, which strips out volatile food and energy prices, also decreased from 2.4 to 2.3. Why do I focus on that? It's because of the bad information you're getting from the media. Haven't you heard that the tariffs are going to start causing all of our prices to increase on everything? But wait a second, the producer price index just came out and our prices are going down, they're not going up. How could that possibly be the case? Well, maybe it's because you're listening to the wrong news stations. Listen to Ron Siegel Radio a little more frequently, you'll get some of the real information. Now, here's what I want you to know about where all of this is going, because we did get an update on loan performance from CoreLogic this morning, month of March. CoreLogic's a little behind the times. The health of loans continues to be strong. 30 days or more past due remains stable, 4%, while seriously delinquent loans, defined as 90 days or more, remained at 1.4%. Seriously delinquent homes in foreclosure, unchanged at 0.4%. Now, here's what I want you to understand. Right now, we have got some very, very good interest rates in the marketplace. Doesn't matter whether you call our team or anybody else. Very, very strong interest rates in the marketplace. I do not want you to pay any points. I don't want you to pay any closing costs. I don't want you to pay any title fees, no escrow, no recording fees, nothing. You may have to pay a little bit higher interest rate. Then I want you to look at what is happening with all of your debts. Do you have enough equity in your home to pay off all of your debts? That's called a cash out refi. Yes, it's going to be a little bit more expensive than some other programs. But here's the idea. Here's the reason I like that for you. I told you in the opening segment, interest rates are going to go down to around 1.1, 1.2 late next year. You'll be in place to redo your loan again and save even more money. And being that it doesn't cost you anything to do it, why wouldn't you do that? Unless you like the banks, and then in that case, just send them a thank you note for taking more of your money than they really need to. Just a thought for you. That is the Mortgage Minute, brought to you by our friends at Gold Star Mortgage. Chatting this morning, or we're going to chat this morning, Joe Ingram, Ingram Interactive. I guess we're going to have an interactive conversation with Joe today.
Yes.
You always love it when you... That's a radio host's nightmare, when you throw something to somebody else and they give you a one-word answer. Yeah. But I know Joe well enough that he's got a lot to say. So let's... and you know something, Joe? I love the first line you always put in your notes that you give me. Maybe it's the middle line and I just read it first.
Yes.
Is I help companies convert virtual prospects into paying customers.
Yes, absolutely. I like to say, let's get them off social media to a social meeting.
To a social meeting.
Yeah, meeting. So let's go ahead and actually let's talk face to face and get somebody where we have to do that.
Now, do I have to be in the same room, or is there a problem if I use something like Zoom or
you can
conferencing?
You can use anything that, as long as the person can identify you're a real person.
Okay.
And so that's what's going to help you the most, especially if it's video chat, anything that goes back and forth with the customer, so that they can see you, you can see them, because the way we communicate is going to be a lot more through body language, and that's going to be so much easier to do.
So I'm sitting up
if you're
straighter
video.
as you tell me that.
I said that, and he actually did. He just leaned back in his chair, to make sure he's set up.
Okay, so we see a lot of folks right now that are going in the marketplace that their business model is, especially with the digital media, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Google, all these different medium, and a consumer reaches out to me by text. And you taught us last time that you were on, don't call and don't email if they reach out by text.
Correct.
Stay on the same platform until you get the approval.
Correct. Absolutely.
Can I send a video text out?
Absolutely. You can, unless you're going from iOS to Android. Then the video's not going to come out.
Oh, so okay.
It will not come out the right direct. You'll put it out there, and it'll look just like a 1985 video game. Right?
Oh, yeah. So I got Pac-Man going.
Right, exactly. All of a sudden, it's like, oh, are we playing Dig Dug? Yeah. No.
Okay, so it needs, if a video text, and then if I'm understanding right, what you're saying then is the video text needs to be an embedded product as opposed to a link that's going to Dub or BombBomb or something like that.
Yeah, absolutely. So you can use anything you want. If the person is texting you and the bubbles match your phone,
okay,
right? And so if you look at it, so if you're texting and it's not changing colors to say they're on a different platform, then by all means you can use the video on your phone and send it to them. I'm still a little old school in the fact that I will go to YouTube and set up an unlisted video, and I'll shoot it real quick, upload it from my phone, and since it's unlisted, I just copy the link and send it to them. So if it gets a view, I know they watched it.
They're the only ones that has the link, so you know it's
yes.
them.
And I do that when I'm communicating. Anybody who reaches out to me and says, "Hey, I'm interested in your services and what you do," I usually grab my phone, pull it up, and say, "Hey, just want to let you know I am real. All right, I'm the person that's here," and I'll use their name back, so it'll get to that point.
So that way, interesting right there, because you made a very, very subtle comment. You're using their name back, so it's not a stock response.
Oh, absolutely. That's horrible. It's horrible if you're just going to use. I mean, that's if somebody's reaching out to you and not communicating back, you can use a video that's a generic video.
Okay.
Right? On long-term follow-up where you're trying to get them engaging.
Right.
Yes. But in your initial reach out to somebody, it should be you doing something safe, sitting still somewhere, not driving down the road, and going, "Hey, I'm doing 90 down the freeway, trying to hold
I've
my
watched
Starbucks."
you doing that sometimes,
yes,
Joe.
I do that. That's called Instagram Live, so it can go away later. But no, that's absolutely, the answer is get a live video in for somebody to see you that's there. Because I need to make that emotional connection.
Okay, so we want to do that as quick as we can.
As quick as possible.
Now, is that the time when I'm asking for approval to call, or do I just continue until I develop more of a relationship?
I would continue to use the medium in which they contacted you on until the questions start to get more in depth.
Okay.
And then it's much easier to just turn that around and say, it'd be so much easier if we just had a 5-minute conversation as opposed to a 20-minute text battle.
Okay.
That goes on. Or I will throw out, I'm currently, at the moment I'm driving. Is it possible we can have a phone conversation? I can use Bluetooth as opposed to try to voice to text.
And that makes a lot of sense because most people understand the idea. We're always moving around in our cars.
Absolutely.
And most people get the clue that, hey, something, maybe it's not so good to try and text while we're driving.
Correct. Absolutely. and you always put that little note in the bottom saying, "Sorry, this was voice to text."
Yeah, that way when
it doesn't make any sense what you just wrote. Yeah.
That way when you especially if you're doing that to a spouse, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because you can say more and it comes out as moo, and that might cause a problem.
Right. You're so sleeping on the couch at that point. Yeah.
Exactly. Really causes a problem.
So if you did a video and you said moo, yeah, you're
then you're not even sleeping on the couch. You're actually in the doghouse.
Correct.
You're moving a little further out. Okay, so that's great information already with Joe.
I know it was accidental. It just happened that way.
Something. Sometimes the best conversations we have on radio are the ones that just kind of flow and they go with where we're at.
Absolutely.
Now, using the right words, does it matter? I mean, is there words I have to go to, stay away from? in those initial conversations, or are there? I heard you say once recently, and here's the one that got me my goat, because I used it all the time until no worries.
Yeah.
No problem.
I never use, the only time I use it when I tell people to stop using it.
Okay.
It's the only time you're going to hear me say no problem and no worries. I flip those around to absolutely, certainly, of course, or my pleasure.
Okay.
Because I don't want to introduce a problem. So unconsciously, the way a brain works, we all think in pictures, sounds, and feelings.
Okay.
So if I were to say right now, Ron, don't think of a blue tree. Okay. I told you don't, right? And if I said no squirrel, okay, the image is already in your head. So when I go and tell somebody no problem, what did I just introduce into the equation? Problem.
Sure.
And so the disturbing part for most people is that they don't know what the problem is you just introduced that you said you took care of.
Okay.
Okay, and truly, most of the time, if somebody says, "What are we doing?" and you go, "Oh, that's no problem," what you're trying to tell them is, it was my pleasure. It wasn't anything difficult for me.
Sure.
So that's what you're trying to communicate to the person, but then you end up going the wrong direction by saying no problem. And you've said it before where you told somebody no problem, they said, "Are you sure?" Because they don't even understand what was the problem that you introduced. So I don't want to do that. Worries is just a different way to say the same word that's out there. So absolutely, certainly, my pleasure, of course, things like that.
And those are just a few different ways, just semantics that brings these to a positive place.
Absolutely.
As opposed to some place that's a dark place that we didn't even want to be in the first place.
Correct.
Interesting information.
The basement where my parents used to keep me.
Exactly.
It's a flashback.
Now we are going to talk about telephones. Do we really need a telephone in today's world? We're going to talk to Joe Ingram about that one when we come back as well. We're going to also chat a little bit about renting or owning. What's better for you? Ways health insurance protects your finances. All that and more. You can reach me anytime. Our off-air number 800-306-1990. 800-306-1990 or ronsiegelradio.com. Connect with us, facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio, on Twitter, @Ron Siegel. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Siegel Lending Team offers you buying power. Let's say you can afford a monthly mortgage payment, including principal and interest, of around $1,900. With today's rate on a 30-year fixed mortgage of 3.75%, APR 3.85%, that payment could support a $416,000 mortgage. But if you wait and rates tick up to around 6.5%, which is roughly the average home mortgage rate over the past 30 years, that same $1,900 mortgage payment, including principal and interest, may only be able to support a $314,000 mortgage. That's over $100,000 worth of home you're missing out on by waiting. That's buying power. All you need to do to get started is reach out to the Siegel Lending Team at 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990. Or visit SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Payment example excludes taxes and insurance. Call us for full details. 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990 or SiegelLendingTeam.com. Equal housing lender. Licensed under NMLS number 217037.
Are you purchasing or own a luxury home? If you're like so many others, your home is your largest asset and the mortgage is your largest debt. The Siegel Lending Team has some amazing financing opportunities right now. Jumbo loans up to $2 million, 30-year rates below 4%, 15-year rates near 3.5%, and if you can believe it, 7-year interest-only hybrids in low 3s. The Siegel Lending Team has all the options for your jumbo or second home loan requirements. Take advantage of them while you can. To learn more about all the other financing products available from the Siegel Lending Team, call 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or visit SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Again, call 1-800-306-1990. Rates subject to change without notice. Licensed by NMLS ID 217037 and 145502. Equal housing lender.
Homeowners that are 62 and older are about to find out a great way to live a better retirement. It's called a reverse mortgage, and SLT can help you learn more. Call the Siegel Lending Team at 800-306-1990 right now to receive your free booklet with no obligation. It answers questions like how a reverse mortgage works, how much you qualify for, the ways to receive your money, and more. When you call the experts at Siegel Lending Team today, you'll learn the benefits of a government-insured reverse mortgage, how it will eliminate your monthly mortgage payments, and give you tax-free cash from the equity in your home. Here's the best part. You still own your home. Now is the best time to take control of your retirement. Call 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990 to get your free brochure. Call today or visit our website at SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Or simply call 800-306-1990.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message. I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. In the real-time real estate segment today, being brought to you by the area trusted real estate professionals of Ron Siegel Radio. Text NEST, N-E-S-T, to 79564. Find your dream home before someone else does. Renting or owning, what is better for you? In a real estate market where home prices are rising, many have begun to re-examine the idea of buying a home, choosing instead to rent for a while. But often, there's a dilemma. Should you keep paying rent knowing that rent is rising too, or should you lock in your housing cost and buy a home? So we look at both of the scenarios and analyze the pros and cons of each. With the housing market crash in 2008, many homeowners lost their homes and became renters. According to iProperty Management, the number of households renting their home rose from 31.2% of households in 2006 to 36.6% in 2016. Some choose to rent because it's more convenient for their lifestyle. Those whose job requires frequent moves need the flexibility that a 6 to 12 month lease agreement gives them so they can move to their next assignment. Many renters believe that renting is cheaper because they do not have to pay for maintenance and repairs. Obviously, that's not true. Landlords work those expenses into your rent and other fees. Another reason many rent is they feel they cannot afford the down payment and closing costs. We spoke about that yesterday. We know that rents are rising. They've been going up since 1988 in a pretty straight line. Now let's explore the other side of home ownership. In the past, we've mentioned that many financial and non-financial benefits of becoming a homeowner. So let's just focus on the one big difference between renting and owning: the ability to lock in your housing cost. Assuming you have a fixed rate mortgage, your costs are predictable. You'll know exactly what your mortgage payment will be for the next 15 to 30 years. Home ownership rate in 2018, 64.4%, and has been on the rise. Bottom line, everything in life, there are pros and cons. What's better for you depends on your situation. If you are interested in becoming a homeowner, want to discuss the pros and cons, let's chat. If you're already a homeowner and you want to know the value of your home, here's a simple tool. Text RE value, no space, RE value to 79564. We'll send you a report once a month, either on your home valuation and equity or a property area that you are interested in. Either way, we're going to send it to you totally free from Ron Siegel Radio. That is the real-time real estate segment. Again, brought to you by our area trusted real estate professionals. Couple shout outs here. We've got Lauren listening in. Good morning, Lauren. Kim is on the line. Kevin, Janae, Art, Sean, Rose, David. Glad to see all of you with us. There's a bunch more. Zana, Pat, Lisa, Scott, Danielle, Ray, Richard. Glad to see all of you watching us or listening to us this morning. Glad you took a little bit of your time. We know you could be anywhere, and we appreciate you being with us this morning. Hopefully we give you some great content. Joe is always giving us good information when he comes in here. Love to have him here. I get to learn from my guests as much as I hope you do as well. Speaking this morning, Joe Ingram, Ingram Interactive is our guest. Now, Joe, you know, I look at some of the markets that you work in: automotive, real estate, mortgage, multi-level, chiropractic. But the information that you share seems like it crosses almost every platform.
Absolutely. Yeah. And so I just listing the ones of when I have been solicited to actually help.
Okay.
So I won't take credit for something I wasn't doing. The astronauts can use this, but NASA hasn't contacted me, so it's not on my resume yet.
Not there yet. Okay.
Yeah, it'll be there.
So
they will call.
They will call, exactly. So the concept that we look at or wonder about on there sometimes, is you just kind of hit it right there. I mean, I know that you're the word expert, so I knew it was intentional.
Yes.
They're going to call.
Accidentally on purpose.
They're not going to text you. They're not going to email you. NASA's going to call you. Mm-hmm. So is there still a place? I mean, I've got I shouldn't say young. I've got a 25-year-old son, a 27-year-old son, and a 30-year-old son. They don't know what those buttons on the phone, they don't realize that there's that thing that lifts up, and you can actually use that for voice communication.
Yeah, that's very difficult for the generation that's I laugh and I explain to people all the time. If you look at the generations of how we went through where we used to go to a phone, right?
Right, the rotary dial.
We would go dial somebody and talk to them. Then we were like, we actually went away from that, and we went to, I can go on my computer and send you an email. It's an electronic letter.
Right.
Instead of mailing you a letter, I can do it electronically, and now it's going to be there in minutes.
Right.
Right? And then we go, okay, fantastic. Now I got pagers. So I'm going to call you. You can get off the freeway, go to a payphone and call me back. And the evolution just kept going. It's like, okay, now I got the texting pagers. So now I can almost send like an email to myself.
Right.
Or to other people, and we can communicate. And then we go, great, now, and then we go, but we should have done was we should have said the next step is text only.
Right.
Right? And then from there we'd go, oh my gosh, now I can carry around a phone where I can actually talk to another human being real time. And instead we've gone backwards. We're like, it's real time, and now everybody goes, no, go back to texting only. Right?
Isn't that amazing?
All your phone is for is to watch YouTube videos and on Ron Siegel 1 and also to text. And yeah.
And the young people, I mean, you can call them and they hit ignore.
Absolutely.
And then they text you back. So you know that they've got a phone hand by.
Absolutely.
Right?
It's always in their hand. My kids, I will text, I'll call them, not get an answer. Text, not get an answer. I go on Snapchat, send a message, and they reply back real quick. And I'm like, you realize all 3 attempts were in the same device that's in your hand.
Right.
It's just their choice of medium that they work with. So you got to know your client. So I just start with Snapchat now for them.
So you start with Snapchat, and I don't even understand Snapchat, so that's probably what my kids are excited about, is I have no clue how to use Snapchat.
Mine don't like it that I jump on every platform that comes out.
I've got the Instagram. I think I understand that one now. Right. My kids don't understand LinkedIn, so I don't have to worry about that.
True.
Now, here's the part of it, if we do ever get to the telephone.
Correct.
What about the level of our excitement? Because on a text message, no one knows that I'm actually half asleep and, maybe had 1 or 2 martinis too many. But on the telephone...
They will when you have extra letters in your words.
Oh, is that okay?
Yeah, don't voice the text if you've got that one. Slurring doesn't come out well.
But with the concept of picking up the phone and calling or answering a phone, heaven forbid...
Right.
Do I have to really be a performer for that?
Absolutely. It's the first impression.
Okay.
So if I'm going to have a phone call, my energy needs to be higher than anyone else's. So I'm actually on the radio right now, but typically when I answer my telephone, I have radio voice on.
Okay.
Okay, so I answer my telephone all the time, say, thank you for calling, Joe speaking, I'm happy to help you. And so I will drop the bass in my voice and come in and be there. And they'll be like, oh, wow. Right? Whenever I'm at a client's office, I will answer the phone the same way. So if I'm at a dental office, chiropractor office, or if I'm at a dealership, I'll answer, thanks for calling ABC Motors. This is Joe speaking. I'm happy to help you. And the person's like, wow, I thought you were like a voicemail. I thought you were something other. And I'm like, great. But when I get the wow, then I know that I just shook them. Right, and I'm a different experience than what they thought, because most of the time when you talk, absolutely.
Do I need to be different, or are people looking for what they're comfortable with?
No, people don't. I don't want to give my money to someone that's falling asleep or somebody miserable. Okay, because why? We've been conditioned that customer service people, right, are miserable because you're trying to get something accomplished. That means you're going to end up tolerating mediocre to poor performance.
Listen, it's funny that you say that, because that's one of my big beefs of all time. Is obviously those that are watching us on RonSiegelRadio.tv, you can tell that I'm a pretty good sized guy. I enjoy restaurants.
Built for comfort.
Built for comfort.
Yes.
Right, and you walk into a restaurant and the servers most frequently will say, is everything okay?
Right.
And I'm tempted, and sometimes I do. I said, were you trying to achieve okay or better than okay?
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah, and again, but also understand that at Walmart, right, even at your restaurants, they pay someone else to greet you when you come in because they are supposed to have better energy than the staff that's trying to accomplish a job.
Interesting. Okay.
Right?
That makes
And
sense.
So when you come in and they're like, oh, welcome. Hi, how many in your party? Blah, blah, blah. If the person looks at you and just goes, yeah, thanks for coming in. Right? How many? Right? You're like, okay, you just started me in the hole on this, and now you have to sell yourself back up to zero.
But at least you know that the experience is going to go uphill from there.
Exactly. You're hoping.
You're hoping it will.
Right? Yeah.
Right? Because
is the food edible? Yes.
I mean, but it is amazing how many places they just live for mediocrity.
Absolutely.
Or they
tolerate it.
We do.
Right? And so one of the things that I always like to talk about with any of the clients is accountability. How are you holding yourself accountable, and how are you holding your staff accountable for delivering the message you want? Okay? The average person touches their phone 25,000 times a day.
Was that 25,000?
25,000 times a day we are touching our phone. Even if you're just touching your pocket to make sure your phone's still with you.
Yeah, I didn't lose it.
Yeah, okay? And so it's staying in your hand. It's always there. So one of the things I always find is that people call us, and it's never convenient when they call.
Sure.
But if you're spending money to advertise, if you're spending money to generate a phone call, right? In today's day and age, it's either a text or a call. But if it comes in as a telephone call, are you representing yourself properly? Okay? Or are we flying down the freeway, right, at 80 miles an hour, trying to drink our Starbucks and now take a phone call as we're going down the road?
So, am I better off answering that call, being that I can't do it in the most professional way, or am I better off letting it go to voicemail and then calling and doing my best job?
So the person's hottest when they're calling you.
Okay.
When you're calling back, they're not going to be anywhere as hot because they called the next person to see if they're going to answer.
Okay.
So I'm going to answer the phone, but what I need to do, right, I've seen this before. As entrepreneurs, we wing it.
Right.
Okay, so if you're out there in automotive, you're out in real estate, right? If you're in mortgages, you're winging it. And we're thinking, hey, I can do this, right? And so as you're driving and you're drinking, so you put your cup down and you're talking to someone, you're writing hieroglyphs on the back of a receipt, right? Or the napkin from the Starbucks you're at, and you're writing this stuff down and you can't see it. So what I always propose to people is what you need to do is you need to have some way of recording every phone call from every lead source that you get. So if I'm driving down the road and I know this call is recorded, right? If this call is recorded while I'm driving down the road, I don't need a pen. I don't need the back of a napkin.
Yeah, but do I want to be recorded as the person making that call? Am I going to start wondering if you're recording me and why you're recording me? We're going to ask Joe Ingram that when we come back. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate current events and the financial markets. Also, look at 3 ways health insurance protects your finances, all that and more. You can reach me anytime. Our off-air number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com. Connect with us, Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio, on Twitter, @Ron Siegel. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? Is your credit score over 800? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Most businesses struggle to get the online reviews they need to get a competitive edge over their competition. Rex is a brand new technology that uses text messages to direct happy clients to your online review sites, Zillow, Google, Facebook, and Yelp, and unhappy clients to a private survey, so businesses can win more customers. Try Rex today by going to www.meetrex.com. Are you currently renting a home? Do you like paying someone else's mortgage payment? Why not explore the options to purchase your own home? Can you imagine a 30-year fixed-rate loan below 4.25% APR? This means with $10,500, you can purchase a $295,000 home and have a principal and interest payment of about $1,400 per month. What are you paying in rent? Does your family deserve the opportunity to take advantage of the current market? To learn more about these exciting opportunities, the Siegel Lending Team is standing by to speak with you. Call now, 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or visit SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Or 1-800-306-1990. Rate subject to change without notice. Licensed by NMLS ID 217037 and 145502. Equal housing lender. Not endorsed or sponsored by any government agency.
Do you have a goal of mortgage-free home ownership? What if your home was valued at $500,000? Are you aware that a free and clear home could be costing you $2,500 every month, $30,000 per year? The mortgage planners at the Siegel Lending Team would like to show you how you can own your home, generate tax-free income, and accumulate family wealth. You simply need to call the Ron Siegel Team at 1-800-306-1990. That is 1-800-306-1990. By sending the team a copy of your most recent mortgage statement, the team will send you a no-obligation real estate plan. You be the judge if this is right for your family. Again, all you have to do is send the team a copy of your mortgage statement by email to reap@ronsiegelradio.com or call today. Ron Siegel, 1-800-306-1990. That is 1-800-306-1990.
Subject to change and without notice. Licensed by the California DOC and BRE NMLS 217037 and 145502 and Cal BRE 01869452 and 1866775.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990. 800-306-1990. The Word on Wealth segment today being brought to you by our friends at Blue Water Credit. When you are ready to get your credit repaired, and yes, I know your credit report is wrong because they all are wrong. Easy for me to say. Yes. Blue Water has these solutions. They know the laws that the credit bureaus must follow. It's not a matter of just sending a letter saying, that's not mine. That doesn't work that way. The bureaus understand that. It's not going to do any good for you. So the concept here is get the company here who understands the law, makes the laws work for your benefit. When your report is accurate, generally your scores will go up as long as you don't hit some of the landmines that are there that they can talk to you about as well. 3 ways health insurance protects your personal finances. Medical care is expensive and affordable health insurance can be difficult to find, but finding funds for the monthly premium in your budget can protect your finances in the long run. Alternative solutions like urgent care and prescription discount finder tools have popped up to help people find more affordable prices. But these cheaper services don't help reduce every medical bill or replace the need for health insurance. High costs of emergency care, medical procedures, hospital stays, prescriptions make health insurance an important investment in your health and in your financial stability. Health isn't as predictable as we'd like it to be, so health insurance is a wise purchase even if you're healthy. Single accident can result in thousands of dollars of medical costs. So what do we want to be looking at? Number 1 is financial planning. Always be planning. Your monthly spending is a smart financial move because it helps you effectively track and direct where your money is going to. Unknown costs, unexpected expenses make planning your budget harder. So you know you're going to have certain prescriptions every month, especially as you get older. Preventative care is going to cost something. Pay me now or pay me later. Plan for it. Number 2, you're going to have emergency costs. Have that rainy day fund always in place. Just like for your house, for repairs, auto repairs, whatnot. Well, health repair is also part of your rainy day fund. And future savings. Some health insurance plans are high deductible plans, which are HSA compatible. You can put money into an HSA tax-free to be used for medical expenses. All of these are planning. Talk to your financial planner. If you don't have one, give me a call, 800-306-1990. It is not what I do, but I can introduce you to the financial planners that can help you. That is the Word on Wealth segment, again, brought to you by our friends at Blue Water Credit. Chatting this morning, Joe Ingram, Ingram Interactive. We've been chatting about phone calls. Should we make the calls? Should we not make the calls? Joe's told us, get on the phone.
Absolutely, get on the phone. I think your question you asked before the last break was, should we be letting people know we're recording the call?
Right.
Well, in Taxifornia, as you call it, right? I call it the People's Republic of California.
Okay.
Where we protect everybody but the business owner itself. When you look at that, every multi-million-dollar company you call says this call may be monitored or recorded. It's 100% recorded. It's whether anybody ever goes back to monitor it is what's up in the air. So you, as an individual that's representing yourself as a business, wouldn't it make sense to imitate the big players? The ones that everybody's used to calling. If you call your bank, you call anybody, you're going to get the same response, which is this call may be monitored or recorded.
Well, I get that part, Joe, but when I make a phone call, I'm not if I'm calling and I heard I saw something and I get a referral, it says, hey, call Joe. He's a great person to help you with communications.
Right.
Well, I'm expecting that I'm having a personal conversation with Joe. I'm not calling IBM.
True, but a personal referral would have just issued my cell phone number directly to you.
Right.
Right? I'm talking about something I'm paying for in advertising.
Okay.
I'm talking anything that's out there generating me people to reach out to me. I need to represent myself in the best light possible. So what I did was myself. I remember sitting down and looking at all these papers in my car from when I talk to people, right? And I can get on the phone and I can be great on the phone while I'm driving, but I'm not going to remember everything I talked about after that.
Sure.
So what I found was that when I started running everything through an actual recorded program, I no longer had to write down any of my notes. While I'm driving, as I talk to you and I go, really, in what property were you interested in? Okay, what was it you were thinking? How many people do you have working for you? What is this? And as I ask them qualifying questions, all of the answers are back on my recorded line.
Okay.
So when I get back to someplace I can sit down and prepare an estimate properly, I have all my information that was there, but I also protected myself in the fact that somebody always used to say, well, you told me I could get it for this much.
Never heard that before, Joe.
Right, exactly. And so when I go, really, because all of our lines are recorded and you were told that before you called me, as you called me, I can go back through and play that for that person and say, no, this is where we're at. And this is what I actually said to protect myself.
Okay, but that kind of brings me where my thought was when I first questioned there is I gave them Joe's cell phone number. And it's not a call that's being generated from an ad. It's Ron said, hey, call Joe. He's great at this. Mm-hmm. Joe answers the phone while you're driving, and that's still going to have a recorded call.
I can if you were to give my business number.
Okay.
The reason I say this is that the numbers that I put together. So I had to get with somebody much smarter and much nerdier than I am, and we came up with like a little call IQ, right? Intelligence quotient. We came up with a program where we can put together a bunch of phone numbers that are recorded and textable. So
that's a biggie right there.
Yeah, so now if you run an ad on Instagram, because why? Everybody on Instagram is using their phone.
Sure.
And you say text, they can now text and you have it recorded in your back-end web-based tool.
Wow.
And so that will save you enough right there because you'll always have a transaction record and a recording. And as soon as I hang up the phone, it will text me a link that says, here's a link to the recording.
Well, that's nice.
Right. And so that keeps me accountable. But if, for example, like the Call IQ program we put together, if you were to place an ad and ring, I can ring 3 phone numbers at the same time. So whichever one of my reps, I can feed them, but the hungriest one that's going to grab it. But I can also go back and listen and say, did they handle it properly?
Did they represent me the way I wanted to be represented?
And if they didn't, guess what? I go in and take that phone number out. And I say, you and I need to sit down and talk about how we handle the phone calls that I give you and the leads, because if I'm paying for ads, I need to get an ROI, and that's going to be how well did you handle that?
Now, this sounds to me like we're talking about, I'm a solopreneur, right?
Yeah.
How do I afford something like this?
Well, I typically am working with customers themselves that are companies.
Okay.
And so we go in and I provide an actual traditional investment for this is a $750 setup. that I have to get set up, put everything in place with your numbers, and you can pick different area codes, stuff like that, and it runs $9.95 a month. And that gets you up to 20 lines, and if you need more than 20 lines, it's $10 per line a month. But I understand the struggle of being that solopreneur. And so as you beat me up off the air repeatedly, right? Then I said, Ron Siegel, RS1 would be your discount code, right? But Ron Siegel radio listeners, I said, fine, I agreed to the setup being reduced down to $4.95 and then 555, so $555 a month. So 20 numbers for $555 a month. You get all the recordings, text tracking. You can point it to anywhere you want to point it, and you'll get notifications instantly. Let's say you grabbed one of your newest people, you trained them a little bit, and then you give them the ability to answer a phone call. You're going to get the text message that says they just handled a phone call. So you can click the button on your phone, your smartphone, click the button, it'll open the web browser and play you the phone call. And if need be, I have the customer's number right there. And all the things that were there, I can click, call back, and go, hi, this is Joe. You just spoke to Jimmy, and I understand you had some questions he couldn't answer for you. And I wanted to make sure you got those answers. Now I just did a save a deal within minutes compared to, I wonder what happened to that phone call, and I'll wait for Jimmy to report back to me.
So you can be proactive in managing your company.
Absolutely. I want to make every investment dollar get me something back.
Sure.
And if I can take away the calls from the people that won't do it the way I want to, that's exactly how I'm going to do it.
And that's a big issue, right? Because you want to make sure, hey, either you're representing me the way I tell you to represent me, or find your own way.
Exactly. If you're not going to be a representative of my company the way I need you to be, then you don't need to really be part of the company.
Makes total sense.
Yep.
Want to get more information from Joe Ingram? Give me a call, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The call may be recorded or monitored, and I will be forwarding that call just straight to Joe. It's just a simple way of doing things. And be sure to set that first radio preset button to come back here every day to join Ron Siegel Radio, where we only speak about items affecting your house and your bank account. Thanks to all of our sponsors. A big thanks to John, who's engineering us today. And, of course, a special thanks to you for spending a little bit of your day with us. That's all for Ron Siegel Radio. Again, if you have any questions or to meet any of our guests, call me anytime. 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. And remember, make a lot of money so you can help a lot of people and have a lot of fun. Have a great day. We will talk to you next time on Ron Siegel Radio.